Hi guys, I want to take a few minutes to show you how to profit from the extra place offers. You'll see these every now and then on the horse racing, and you can also find these on the golf as well. The principle will remain exactly the same no matter whether you're placing it on the golf or the horse racing. This video I'm going to show you an example using a horse race. There are two methods that I use to profit from these extra place offers, and I'll show you both of them in two separate videos. This first video is going to show you how to back and lay an each way bet. So why does placing an each way bet become very profitable when there's an extra place being paid out? Well, in a nutshell, it gives us the chance to be paid out on both the bookie and the exchange. The reason this happens is because the place market that we place our lay bets on are usually for one place less than the bookie's paying out. So for instance, when the bookie is paying out 5 places, like they are in this example, and the exchange is paying out 4 places, as you can see here, it gives us the chance to be paid out on both sites if the horse comes 5th. Because if it does come 5th, then it's placed on the bookie, so they pay us out, and Betfair will also pay us out because the horse did not come in the top 4. This is why when a bookie pays an extra place, it can be very profitable. When there is an extra place being paid out on a particular race, the first thing I do is load up Odds Checker, as you can see here on my left. I then get Betfair on my right, so I can look at the odds quickly between the bookie and the exchange. The next thing I do is I look for a horse where the place lay odds look rather low for the bookie back odds. Don't worry, this is something that will become a lot easier the more you do it. The reason we want low place odds is really just to minimise our qualifying loss on each bet. And of course, we're going to want to make sure that the win market has a close match as well with their odds. So once I think that there's a horse that could be a good match, I head over to the calculator and I'll click this button at the top where it says click here for the each way and extra places calculator. This will take us to the calculator that we need. So the first thing you want to do is to change the total bet stake. Now this is the total amount you'll place on the bookie. So for instance, a £30 bet will be a £15 each way bet because you're placing a bet for it to win and also a bet for it to place. The next thing you want to do is to check the bookmaker place payout. Now you can check this by looking on Odds Checker or head over to the actual bookie itself, and you can normally see this at the top of the race card. For instance here it says each way 1/4. So if we were placing a bet on that race, we would select 1/4. I already know that this race we're betting on is also 1/4, so I'm going to select it on the drop down box here. And then over here you want to enter your exchange commission. We then have our bookmaker win odds and exchange win odds. The bookmaker place odds will change automatically once we put in the win odds, and we also put in the exchange place odds. You also want to click the show extra places button and then select the bookmaker places, which in this case is 5, and the exchange places, which is 4 in this case. So I'm going to head back over to Odds Checker and I'm going to have a look now for a horse that I think's a close match. So I'm going to look here at Tully East. It's being backed at 34. And you can see there the place odds are 9.3. And from that I can already see that won't be a good match. So I'm not going to bother looking any further for that one. So let's have another look, see what else I can find. Okay, we've got this horse here at odds at 41. So to find out the place odds, I head over to the calculator, type in 41, and it will tell me there that the bookmaker place odds are 11. So we can also see this same horse has place odds of 9.4 to lay on Betfair. So we can enter that here, 9.4. And now we want to find out the exchange win odds, which are 55, so that's quite far out. Let's see what that returns. So that's a £2.63 qualifying loss. That's not bad, but ideally we want to get it under £2. So I'm going to carry on looking for a better result. So I'm just literally looking through, seeing what I think has a low place odds and the win odds. So I found one here. Let's have like 34, 44 and 8. So yeah, it's still £2.33 qualifying loss. I think I'll still try and find another match that might be better. So I think white out might be a good shout. 34, and it's being laid at 7.8 on place. And the win market's at 42, so this should be okay. Let's have a look. Change that to 42, 7.8. So there we go, a £1.35 qualifying loss. That's the sort of amount that I'm happy with. So from placing this bet, it gives me the chance to win £141.60p if this horse comes fifth. So what I'll do is I'll get the exchange bets ready to go. So all I have to do is click place bets. That way it minimises any risk of the odds moving once I've placed my back bet. So if I click 42, type in the exchange lay amount, which is £12.16. Head over to the place side and I'll select 7.8 and I'll enter £18 there as well. So now my lay bets are ready. I'm going to head back over to Bet365 and place the back bet. So I'll just locate the race, which isn't in this list. So I'm going to go up and find the race manually. So it's a 1650 Cheltenham and it only goes up to the 410. So if I click on horse racing, find Cheltenham and click on the 450 and we can hopefully find this horse. Here we go. So click on that. We're doing a £15 each way for a £30 total stake. So 15, and make sure you click that each way box. I've made that mistake a few times myself, so make sure you click that each way box to place an each way bet. Once you have, click place bet, and there we go. So I can now go over to the exchange and place my lay bets. Okay, so the odds on this horse has now dropped a little on the place to 7.6. So I'll just adjust the calculator. There we go. So I've got to change the stake to 1848. And change it to 7.6, place bets, confirm bets. Head over to the win side and place my lay bet there, and that's all matched. And okay, so the lay bet hasn't been fully matched yet on the place side. So I'll just wait a couple of seconds and see if it'll get matched. If not, that remaining amount, I'll just take at 7.8. So yeah, I'll just take this at 7.8 just to get all the risk out of the way. I never really want to sit there for too long in case the odds go in the other direction too much. So put that up to 7.8 and then click update. There we go. So my average odds are 7.67. The lay stake wouldn't be 100% accurate, but it's really not going to make that much of a difference. It's only going to make a difference if this horse does place. And if it does, it's only going to be pennies difference. So there we go. That's our first bet place. So all I want to do is find some more horses like this, so I'm going to have another look here. Let's have a look at the odds. Okay, so Goodwood looks like that might be a match. I don't know. Okay, no, we won't do Goodwood. Let's have a look. What else have we got here? Okay, so this might be one, 8.4 to 40. This is 34. Change that to 40 and put the exchange place odds at 8.4. What does this bring us out at? £2 2p qualifying loss. I'm happy with that. So once again, I'll get my lay stake ready. 16.71 and £12.77. I'll now head over to Bet365 and place my back bet, so £15 each way, and then place bet. There we go. And I'll head over to Betfair and place my lay bets. So there we go. That's another bet placed. So the aim of this really is to cover as many horses as you possibly can. If you can, try and cover the whole entire field and you'll guarantee yourself some profit. You'll probably end up with about sort of 20 to 30 or 40 pounds qualifying loss covering the whole field. However, if most of your horses are paying out over 140 pounds or so, if it does come fifth, then you're going to make a guaranteed 100 pounds. But if you are in a position that you can only cover a few horses, then not to worry, you can usually find a few horses that don't even come with a qualifying loss, and some will actually come with a profit. For instance, here's a screenshot of when I covered Roadie Joe. You can see here that I backed it at 81, which meant the place odds were 21. The exchange win odds were 95, and the exchange place odds were only 15, so there was a massive arb in the place market. You can also see this bet made me £1.40 no matter what happens, but if the horse came fifth, then I'd make a guaranteed £213.35. So if you can only cover a few horses, I always think it's best to find horses like this where it returns you a small profit to pose of a loss. That way you're giving yourself a completely risk-free chance of hitting a nice big payout. So it's very, very profitable to do these extra place offers. The only thing to bear in mind is when you do this, you need to make sure you've got a rather large bankroll just so you can cover all the liability on Betfair. As when you're placing bets on the high odds horses, the liability can be quite a lot sometimes, so just bear that in mind. You could of course just do much smaller stakes, so instead of doing £15 each ways at horses of these odds, you could do £5 each way for instance, or £2.50, and it will just reduce the amount of liability you're going to need. For instance, on that horse that I just showed you a moment ago, if I only done a £1 each way bet, you can see that it still would have returned me 21p profit, and it would have also given me the shot of earning £21.33 if the horse come fifth. So again, it's a nice way to get onto these offers if you don't have much liability in Betfair. As you can see here, you only need just under £100 to do this bet. So it gives you a nice, quick, easy shot of earning £21 absolutely risk-free. So if you haven't got a massive bankroll, but you still want to do these, it means you can just do smaller stakes. Another bit of advice I'd like to give you is when you're doing these offers, if you're covering multiple horses or even the whole field, and you want to get roughly the same payout on no matter what horse comes fifth, then you need to stagger your stakes. So do higher stakes on the lower odds and lower stakes on the higher odds horses. So that's pretty much it for this video. I'm not going to sit here and film myself covering all the horses because I'll be doing exactly what I've just done. So just keep doing this, cover as many horses as you can, and hope one of them comes fifth and you'll make a good profit.